All right, welcome. We're going to do an activity called 4 4s. And this is like a challenge you can use order of operations for. Okay, so here are the rules. You're going to use 4 4s. Okay, so you're going to use the number 4. And any operations. So operations are like adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. There's other operations, right? Like, and in fact, in order to be really successful in this, you have to use operations like square root, and you have to use exponents, and you have to use something called factorial, which you probably haven't learned yet, okay? Use 4 4s in any operations to create as many numbers 1 through 20 as you can. Okay, here's an example. Now listen, you're going to use a whiteboard, so once you copy down these directions, you're going to go and grab a whiteboard. Because the whole deal on this is you kind of like try stuff out and then you mess it up and then you try something different. That's sort of just how this goes. So here's an example. I can take 4 4s and say, okay, I'm going to use, right, you can use parentheses. So for example, I'm going to do 4 divided by 4. Okay, so I've used 2 4s. And then I'm going to do plus 4 times 4. And actually notice I didn't really need these parentheses, right? Like, because order of operations, I would do division and I would do multiplication and then I would add them. So like you could put parentheses like this to make it your life like easier and to see it better, but in fact you don't need them. Okay, so like if I were to solve this, right, I would do 4 divided by 4, that's 1. And 4 times 4, that's 16. 1 plus 16, this equals 17. So like I just made 17. You're going to try to make all the numbers of 1 through 20 and see how many of them you can get. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this down like this, and you're going to write the numbers 1 through 20. Okay, now I'm not going to move my camera. Just imagine that I'm continuing to write down to the bottom of the page until I get to 20. For me, that takes me to the bottom of the page. If you run out of space and you can't quite make it to 20, it's okay. You can just make, you can just write 20 up here, whatever. So for example, I would take this, right? This one gave me 17. So like you would do this, you would like mess around and you do this on the whiteboard and you do the math and be like, oh, I got 17. Okay, so then you'd go down here to 17 and you'd write what you got, 17, right? You got 4 divided by 4 plus 4 times 4. And that equaled 17, so you put it on the 17 line. And you see, you just use the whiteboard and you kind of like mess around and see what operations you can use, right? Maybe say, okay, well, what if I did 4 plus 4 plus, and I put parentheses on it, or what if I did 4 minus 4? You can just try whatever you want to try and just kind of move them around. But in each one, you have to use all 4 4s. So you can't be like, oh, 4 divided by 4, that's 1. I got 1. Nope. You have to use all 4 4s and any operations in each row and see how many of these numbers, 1 through 20, you can get. It's pretty hard. See if you can get, set a goal. I would say even 10, getting half the numbers is a pretty ambitious goal. Okay, see if you can figure it out. Go grab a whiteboard right now.